Hey guys, sorry about that. The phone just totally cut off. I need to figure out. Okay. Okay, I think we're here again. Sorry guys, having so many technical issues today. Let me talk to Hannah for just a second, and then I've got a knit crate box to open. Welcome again. In case you're seeing this for the first time, this is part 2. Apparently, my stream completely dropped out on me. Sorry about that. We have a lot more to cover. Let me just text my daughter a second, and I'm going to get the link for you. Hold on a second. Let me get this link for Hannah so she can come join me again. Thank you guys for your patience. Okay, let me do this. Just one or two. These are the things that I spend a lot of time doing before going live. I just have to do it kind of quickly here, and I got to get Hannah the link here, so if she can give this to everybody that's... Okay, let's go there. All right. Okay, I see that I'm on. I see a lot of people who joined this again. Thank you so much. Sorry. Oh, I just get so frustrated when this happens sometimes. Crazy, crazy, crazy. All right. Yeah, Terry saying, yeah, technology is challenging. I'm not even going to go there today. I don't understand why this has to happen, but let me tell one more thing. Hold on. Okay. I just had to communicate. All right, well, let's go ahead and start all over again. I do have a knit crate box to open, and if you guys are members of this, you know that they've had some issues lately. I'm choosing to show grace because I know that a lot of the issues are not necessarily on them with this, COVID, and part of it is they have yarn that comes from South America, which is actually where the best alpaca comes from, period. I hope I'm not offending anybody who's raising alpaca in the US, but by and large, that's where most of the really good stuff comes from. And of course, everything has been disrupted, and it's just going to take a long, long time for it to get caught up. I have to tell you, I went to Costco this week and they're out of toilet paper again. So I'm like, oh, deja vu all over again. But was able to go, take care of that another day. But I just wanted to talk a little bit about Knit Crate. They sent a box this time instead of a bag. Yay. And let me see. Hold on a second. Okay, so this is for those of you who've never heard of this, it's a monthly yarn subscription that comes to your door. And it's around $30 a month, which it has gone up from the past, and that's because of shipping has gone up and everything, and also the value of the US dollar has dropped. So that's part of the problem too. In case you've noticed, a lot of things have gone up, not just this. So for $30, you usually get 2 nice hanks of something, and patterns, both knit and crochet patterns that you can use the yarn for. So let's go ahead and see. I have not opened this previously, and it's wrapped beautifully here. Ooh. Okay, here is a little card that talks about well, let's just go ahead and look at the yarn first. And this is that caught my eye. Look at, they put a patch in here. Isn't that cute? It says, zombies beware. I'm yarned and dangerous. That is so cool. I've got to put that somewhere. Oh my goodness, that is so much fun. And let's see. Ooh, this is a nice color. All right, so you have this yarn, you know, beautifully packaged. And ooh, this feels really nice. Let's go ahead and show you what we have. This is Vitalana Dusk by Knit Crate, and let's find out what this is made of, because just looking at the color is not going to help. Okay. Oh wow, this is 2 different breeds. I'm probably going to mess up the names of them, but 60% Huaquega alpaca and 40% Surrey alpaca. This is a DK weight. Each of these has 231 yards, so that's a total of 464 yards. This is the hand wash gently and dry flat. This is really, really nice. Some paper got into that there, but look at that. Isn't that lovely? It's just really, really, really soft. Two different breeds of alpaca blended together. This is nice. So, whoa. So anyway, if that's something that's interesting to you, there is a link in the video description if you wanted to get a surprise box of yarn every month. And if you haven't done this before, you can get 20% off your first order if you use the code with that link below, Bonnie20, BONNIE 20, and that's all in the video description below. So, you know, check it out if that's something you're interested in. And these are the other possible colors that you could also get. See, I got the red. You also have these other colors that are possible. And here are the patterns. I'll cover that up, but here are the patterns that you can make with this yarn. I guess mostly these 2 for the regular yarn box. They have other yarn boxes that are sock yarn if you're interested in that. And when you get this, you get the code. You can download the patterns for all of these. So even though you only get one particular type of yarn, you can have patterns for 4 different designs, 1 knit and 1 crochet pattern for each. So that's the Knit Crate. And let's see, go ahead and put the patch here. That is, look at that. I have to show that to you again. Isn't that cool? That's a lot of fun. Whew. Well, let's see. Hannah has a question. From Tracy Hamilton, can I suggest a pattern for a hooded cowl with buttons? I could suggest maybe go to Love Crafts and type that in, or perhaps, you know, do a quick Google search for something like that, Tracy. I'm sorry, but I don't have anything like that personally, and I'm not really thinking of anything that's coming to mind. Ever since I no longer commute. I used to commute years ago before children. Used to have to walk about 10 minutes to the metro and then take a metro and walk another 10 minutes or so to where I worked down in Washington, D.C. This is many, many, many moons ago. And I had stuff like that because you needed to have things like that or you would absolutely turn into a popsicle. But I haven't had the need since then, and I don't have anything. I would just check, you know, your usual sources and look around. I know if you just do a Google search, you'll find, and if you go to Google and just, you know, put that in, hooded cowl with buttons, and then if you click on images, once you go to that Google page, it'll bring up all these images that you can look at and just scroll through ad infinitum. I mean, and maybe find something you like. So I really wish I could help you more on that one. Let me see if we have any other questions here. Oh, we have Lynn Morris. She says, so glad it was not my internet that was being mean. No, it was my end, unfortunately. Somebody tried to call me, and for whatever reason, YouTube went and and then the person who was trying to call hung up. So it's just kind of like that happens, and I just sorry about that. I meant to set my phone to do not disturb, but quite frankly, nobody ever calls me, ever calls me on the phone except when I'm on live. That's happened a couple times, so I apologize for not being better prepared for that. Hey, we have Judy Quilkin. Is that right? That reminds me of somebody else that I used to know. Okay, come on, computer. Okay, there we go. Let me see if I can scroll. June says she thought it was the Wi-Fi. Now, it wasn't your Wi-Fi. It was my mess up here. And Brad's mom says, glad I didn't miss everything. Just got home. And let's see. Okay, Wanda wants to know, is that Bronco Vintage? Okay, is it Baroque Pro Vintage or Vintage DK? I use the Baroque Vintage. It's the worsted weight, Wanda, and it's gotcha, Hannah. It's the worsted weight, which, as I was trying to explain, it's a little on the thinner side. So if you get your micrometer out and you stack that up next to the Red Heart yarn, it's going to look thinner, but it's still in the worsted weight category. So that's why I was saying, if you want, if anybody out there want a larger size with the poncho, just use your the regular worsted weight yarn that you're used to using. Just bump up to a size J. It will be a bigger poncho. It will be significantly bigger, but not, well, you'd have to check it against the gauge. It's going to be longer and wider if that's what you're looking for. Otherwise, just if you want just the size that I did here, which fits me, I can wear anything from like medium to extra large, depending on the way something is made. This fits me quite well, and it will fit me even if I got a little bit bigger. So you want to be careful about the gauge, because you can end up being a dress if you make it too big. Okay, so you do want to just keep an eye on that gauge a little bit. Let's see. Let me get Hannah's back here. Tracy Hamilton wants to know if I can or will accept Happy Mail. I mean, I can, but if you want to contact me, Tracy, you can always contact me, bonniebay@me.com. So, yeah, I don't generally give that out publicly, though, but if you want to contact me, and yeah, I just need to make sure you guys are real, and I know you know what I mean by that in this crazy world that we live in, but sure, absolutely. And okay, Tracy, I guess talking about the cowls with the hood, I've done search and they all seem to be knitted, not crocheted. Tracy, can you just why don't you communicate, let's communicate through email on that. And if you see a picture of something that you like, if you could send it to me and I can see what I can find. Because there might be something out there in a leaflet or something somewhere that's just not necessarily on Google. Yeah. Or maybe, I can maybe suggest a stitch that you can substitute for that. Because there's a lot of ways to get around some of these things. Oh, we have Karen. Thank you for joining us. I'm Karen Sheffer, if I'm saying that right. And Terry, she agrees with me, yay. Baroque Vintage is a wonderful yarn, soft and pleasant to work with. Yes, I really do find that, and I really enjoy it. And so far, the things I've made from it have held up pretty well. So, I mean, and, eventually, if you wear something all the time, anything you make is going to get wear, which is okay, And there are some things that you can do. They have these little things that you can get even to try to help get rid of the little balls of things that form once you've gotten a lot of wear on something, and you can make it look almost like new again. I don't have that nearby to show you, but I'll have to maybe do that another time on caring for older projects. That actually might be a good video. Um, Okay, so from Tracy, she said she can do that. I found one. I'm trying to use a crochet stitch instead of knit. I'm just not experienced enough. I think, Tracy, if you're going to try to take something that looks knit and try to crochet it, I think one of the first things that we have to do, because our stitches tend to be thicker, is to look for thinner yarn. So if something is made of, let's say, a worsted weight yarn with knit, you might want to go to a DK or even a sport weight, which is like a number 2 weight yarn, if you're trying to match, the thickness of something that is knit with an Aran weight or worsted weight yarn. Yeah, because our stitches definitely have more fabric in them than most knitting stitches, unless you're doing, really heavy cabling with knit, and then you're going to have a lot of yarn there. All right. Well, let me just say, on Monday, square number 3 for Bonnie's Mystery Crochet Along is coming out. I will say it's a little bit on the challenging side, but then after that, I think it gets really easy for squares number 4 and 5. So again, with square number 3, I can't show it to you because it's connected to the others, but there is a picture. No, I haven't released any photos of that one yet, but I will say it's a little bit more like working week 1. It is different than week 1, but it's more on the complication level of square number 1, and I think you're gonna like it. I hope we're gonna still be friends. But again, if you don't like the way it comes out, or you don't enjoy making those, just leave it out of the throw and make more of the ones that you do like. Okay? So we can, still stay friends. And believe me, if you did that, if you dropped one of the squares and decided I'm not going to include that, you're still going to have a ton of texture in this, and nobody will ever know. I mean, nobody will ever know that you didn't do square number 3. But I'm not trying to discourage you. I want you to definitely give it a try. Pull up pull up your sleeves and get going and give it a try. Like Miss Frizzle on the Magic School Bus used to say, get messy, have fun, and enjoy learning, or something like that. Okay, Hannah sent me another question. Mary Ford McCourt says, Bonnie, have you ever tried Mary Maxim Aran Irish Twist yarn? I really enjoy it. I have not, I have not, Mary. I probably should try that at some point. And I have not. There's no reason why I haven't tried it. It's just that it's not available in stores, and it's not. It's something I would have to buy from them, and I just haven't done that yet. So maybe I can look into that, or maybe contact them and see if they work with designers. They used to sell kits from some of my patterns years ago. I mean, I did not benefit from that in any way, but they used to sell, at least that I'm aware of. I've never worked directly with them, but I will maybe look into that and see, because I've heard a lot of people are very happy. I think Johnny has used their yarn, if I'm not mistaken, and has really liked it. And there are some others. Yeah, there are very few yarns that I have met that I didn't like. There's some I haven't really been thrilled about, but I don't talk about those too much, because I don't want to be I don't want to be a wet rag on anybody or anything. But I do like to show you good stuff. So, and just want to keep you happy. Okay. Okay, John says, I did 3 popcorn rows instead of 5 in the Celtic cable throw. We're still friends, though. You know what, John? 3 might actually look kind of cool, because that would kind of make a nice little pattern if you did it, where they're alternating each row. But thanks for being still my friends. Yeah, popcorn can be a mind bender sometimes. It's a simple stitch, but yet in keeping the right numbers and where to put them, and that can get complicated. And then he says, it wasn't a mistake. I didn't like the popcorns, and that's okay too. That's totally okay. Um, and Tracy's okay wants to know if I've ever tried the Big Twist yarn. I'm not sure which company that is. Now is that the one that's over on on Mary Maxim? I've seen a lot of yarn at the stores. Sometimes I just don't go for certain yarns. Like if they take a red and a white thread and they twist them together, if that's what you're talking about, something like that. I generally stay away from that, mostly from a design thing, because if I'm looking to make cables or something that's real textured, I don't want the extra color to be confusing, if that makes sense. I don't want it to be too busy. But if you're going to do something like a baby blanket or just, just a simple pattern back and forth, that could probably be very good. Okay, Big Twist is Joann's. Yeah, I have seen that. I should go there today and take a look at that, because I wanted to look at some of Lion Brand's new yarn that they've come out with that's available at Joann's. I wanted to, touch it, feel it, um, and just to get a feel, for if it's something that I could use in something, and if it would, hold up, and just kind of guess. Okay, so Love to Craft says Big Twist is found in solid colors too. I'll have to take a look at it and see, because to be honest with you, okay, honest evaluation here. I recently finished working on something that has to be revealed later, and I did love the way it came out, but I used this yarn, okay, and I know a lot of you love this stuff. I have a love-hate relationship with it. I must tell you that. This makes incredibly soft things, and there's just nothing else like it. If that Big Twist stuff is anything like this, I think I will have to take a look at it and maybe investigate it. I'll tell you what frustrated me the most with this. I went through several of these, and there are so many knots. So many knots. I had one, and I just turned into, I think I just turned into a complaint sitting next to my husband. And I'm like, this is the 6th, or is it the 7th knot? And I'm still not done with this ball of yarn. And I'm like, you know how much work that is to hide all those knots in a project? I mean, I'm like, ugh. But I tolerate it because I love the products it makes. That's a pet peeve of mine. I wish, I just wish the quality control was better on it, but the feel, and it's just so nice. Well, the other thing is, when you're working with yarn like that, it is so soft and cushy. It has a lot of what do you call it? A lot of friction. So your hands are going to get a serious workout. So in the video that I'm making with using this yarn, I even suggest do not sit for hours on end working on this with this particular yarn, because you can injure your hands, because it just really stresses them. It really, and that goes for any yarn that is like this, that's highly just soft, super soft, the microfiber stuff. The thicker, the harder it is going to be on your hands. And if you're like in my age bracket, in the 50 and up age bracket, you want to be able to crochet for a long time and knit or just function in life, so you need to really take care of your hands. So if you ever use that, just be careful. Don't get so excited with the design that you can't put it down, because you could end up having to not crochet for a very long time. So anyway, I'm being a mom now. I'm sorry about that. If I'm not trying to offend anybody or tell you what to do, but do be careful. But thank you for the suggestions on that, Tracy and Mary. I will look for those yarns. I'm going to see if I can get somebody to go with Joann's with me today. And what in the world is going on? There's somebody with a big long trailer backing in front of our house for some reason. Okay, I'll have to go. But John O'Brien says, only 45. But there's such freedom when you hit that 50 and beyond. It is great. Hannah says, I want to go to Joann's. It's like, well, sweetheart, it would take you 9 hours to get here before we could go. So anyway, well, I want to read you guys something encouraging so that you can take into your week. And is it Jasira, if I'm saying it right, says, you're not being a mom, you're giving valuable advice, and I thank you for that. Thank you for understanding. Yeah, just, I mean, I have done stupid things like make an Afghan for publication. This was years ago, before I had my YouTube channel. Wrote, designed, did a pattern, and I promise you it was like 8 days, which for this particular pattern was absolutely insane. So don't recommend doing that. I just remember my arms, my arms with the repetitive motion, my arms were injured for a while. I mean, they self-healed, but it was not a fun time. Well, I want to go ahead and read for you something encouraging. This is from the good book, and this is Psalm 67. And this is just one of my favorite hymns. I read it this morning, and I thought I'd just like to share it with you. May God be gracious to us and bless us, and make his face to shine upon us, that your way may be known on the earth, your saving power among all nations. Let the peoples praise you, O God. Let all the peoples praise you. Let the nations be glad and sing for joy, for you judge the peoples with equity and guide the nations upon earth. Let the peoples praise you, O God. Let all the peoples praise you. The earth has yielded its increase. God, our God, blesses us. God shall bless us. Let all the ends of the earth fear him. I hope that encourages you going into your week, and do wish you God's blessings. And I hope to see you next week uninterrupted, I hope. And I'll try to be better about this, but have a great week, guys. Bye-bye.